Hello dear students, welcome back to EDUHUNT video lecture series. In this session, we are going to discuss about the remaining part of the peripheral nervous system. We know that peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves, different cranial nerves are there, that is sensory, motor and mixed. We have seen which cranial nerves are sensory type and which are motor and which are mixed. We have also seen the comparison between the frog cranial nerves and mammal cranial nerves. In anamniotes, a group in which fish and amphibian were kept, that group has 10 pairs of cranial nerves, but in case of amniotes, they have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, that is reptiles, apes and birds. Now the ganglia on the cranial nerves. Let us see, focus on the board. These are the ganglia of the frog. We'll do a comparative study between frog and mammal. In frog, the ganglion are the two types, that is Gasserian ganglion and the second one is the jugular ganglion. Gasserian ganglion and jugular ganglion. Gasserian ganglion are 5th, 6th and 7th, but jugular ganglion are 9th and 10th. 9th and 10th are jugular ganglion. And in mammals, 5th and 6th are the Gasserian ganglion, and the 7th one, which is not there in frog, it is called the geniculate ganglion. In frog, all the 5th, 6th, 7th ganglion are called the Gasserian ganglion. They form the Gasserian ganglion. But in mammals, 5th and 6th form the Gasserian ganglion and 7th individually have this geniculate ganglion, and 9th and 10th form the vagus ganglion. In frog, we call it as jugular ganglion, and in mammal, it is called the vagus ganglion. Intiki ganglion annamu. What is ganglion? It is collective neuronal bodies found in peripheral nervous system. So these are collective neuronal bodies. In case of frog, Gasserian and jugular ganglion are there. In case of mammals, along with Gasserian, there is geniculate and vagus ganglion are there. This picture shows the cranial nerves from 5th to 10th. And next part of the peripheral nervous system consists of spinal cord. We have finished cranial nerves, that is nerves arising from the brain. Now we'll see the spinal cord and the nerves arising from the spinal cord. In humans, the size of the spinal cord, it ranges from 40 to 50 centimeters in length. That is, the brain, it terminates into the spinal cord, and the medulla oblongata, it emerges and it extends into the vertebral column as a spinal cord. The length is from 40 to 50 centimeters. The diameter is approximately 2 centimeters. And where does it? It is in the dorsal side, and it is protected by vertebral column. Several vertebrae like thoracic, lumbar, all these vertebrae, they form the thick structure around the spinal cord, that is called the vertebral column, and it lies inside the neural canal of the vertebral column. The vertebrae, they leave a space. This space is called the neural canal, and in this neural canal the spinal cord runs. It terminates into the vertebrum of the abdominal region, and then non-nervous part of spinal cord. Non-nervous part of spinal cord containing, that is meninges. Meninges are the layers. They extend from the brain. We have seen the layers of brain. Meninges. Meninx is the singular, and meninges plural. For frog brain there are 2 meninges, and for human there are 3. Anyway, non-nervous part of spinal cord is called the phylum terminale. Non-nervous part of the spinal cord. It contains meninges, the layers, and the bundle of spinal nerves in the posterior most part of the spinal cord is like horse tail. They are the bundles of the spinal nerves in the posterior region of the spinal cord. Is called, it resembles a horse tail, and it is called cauda equina. Cauda equina is nothing but bundle of spinal nerves at the posterior part of the spinal cord. They resemble the horse tail, that is why they are called the cauda equina, and they their development completes when the child age is up to between 5 and 6. 5 to 6 years. Maximum development takes place at the age of 5 or 6. And the spinal cord is hollow, as I mentioned. This is called the neural canal. It is hollow, tubular, and has neurocele or the central canal or the neural canal. And this canal consists of cerebrospinal fluid. We have seen the cerebrospinal fluid in case of brain also. All the ventricles, they filled with the cerebrospinal fluid, which acts as the shock absorber and gives nourishment, at the same time removes the waste. So these are the functions of cerebrospinal fluid, and that cerebrospinal fluid is also present in the neural canal or the central canal or the neurocele. And outer region of the spinal cord contains white matter, whereas the inner region contains the grey matter. Yes, white is present outside and the inner contains the grey matter, and white matter consists of medullated fibers, that is white fibers, and the grey matter contains non-medullated fibers, and mainly their cell bodies are cytons. Cytons are the cell bodies and axons are the extension, fiber-like structures of the neurons, and these are especially present in the cytons are present in the grey matter, but the medullated fibers are present in the white matter of the spinal cord. And grey matter in mammals, it resembles a butterfly shape, like this, generally butterfly shaped, and forms dorsal, that is posterior, ventral, anterior horns. Along with this, lateral horns are also present. What are these lateral horns? They are extensions of the grey matter. The grey matter is not round. It is somewhat like butterfly, and the extensions, the wing-like structures that the butterfly has, like that the grey matter also extends like horns. The dorsal side horns are called the posterior horns, and the ventral side horns are called the anterior horns, and the lateral side called the lateral horns. This is the longitudinal section of the spinal cord, where we can see the central cavity called the neurocele, and which is surrounded by the, through which the spinal cord passes. And this is the pia mater, dura mater, pia mater, these are the mening. And a phylum terminale, that is the terminal part. Phylum terminale, this is sacrum, lumbar, sacrum, these are the vertebrae. Coccyx, sacrum, lumbar, thoracic, these are vertebrae. Vertebral column consists of vertebrae. Venupoosalu antam kada. And the white matter forms the dorsal, ventral and lateral funiculus and contains the ascending and descending tracts of white fibers. Ascending and descending tracts of white fiber. And the meninges present around the brain also continue in spinal cord. The subarachnoid space too contains the cerebrospinal fluid. So these are the structures. It is the section of the vertebral column or the spinal cord, where you can see the grey matter. It is the grey matter, butterfly shaped. It is centrally situated. Inner side it is, and the outer side we can see it. This is the, that is outermost is the white matter, where the fibrous axons are seen, medullated, and non-medullated cytons are present in the grey matter, that is mentioned. And it is the central neural canal, or neural canal. Dorsal side, it is the dorsal side and it is the ventral side. You can see the dorsal horns, ventral horns, and even the lateral horns, small protuberances, projections that coming from the lateral side of the grey matter are the lateral horns. These are ventral horns of the grey matter, and these are the dorsal horns of the grey matter. And this is cyton, that is the cell body of the neuron. And these are nerves, neurons, sensory neurons, and it is the spinal cord that is extended. Motor neuron, sensory efferent neuron, this is efferent neuron, that is efferent neuron. Neurons we have seen 3 different types. Here they are mentioned, sensory and motor. This is the sectional view of the spinal cord. Anyway, in the next session, we are going to deal with the spinal nerves. As we have seen, cranial nerves that arise from the brain, and different types of cranial nerves, and how they affect, all these things were discussed. In the same way, we also discuss about the spinal nerves in the next session. Goodbye.